Okay. Well, that was annoying. I think we're good now, though. I don't know what happened there. My internet just like crapped out on me for a minute. Okay. Yay, level up. Okay. Try and keep an eye on my internet, make sure it's not dropping again. Interesting when the nodes have these things like, hey, you'll get extra yield if your stats above this or whatever. That's kind of cool. These things that we're mining are getting harder and harder to mine. What are my release timelines at work? Does my work go live weeks or months after I finish it? I am like a one-man team at work, and my work goes live. It depends on the project. Yeah. Sometimes, but often it goes live very quickly after I finish it. You know, we don't exactly have much of a team. Sometimes before sometimes I don't even really get to finish it myself at all, because you know I get it working and they consider that finished, so they tell me to release it, and then I say, well, I need to still, and they're like, hey, we have another project for you to work on, but that one's okay. Yeah. Your job works on quarterly release cycles, so customers are just now reporting issues that you finished back in February. Oh yeah. See, my customers are most often actually, it depends. Sometimes it's the citizens, but sometimes it's internal projects, so it's just our own employees using it, right? And sometimes I'll go to talk to them and they'll be like, oh yeah, there's this issue with this program you wrote, and I'm like, there is? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh wow, when did that happen? Oh, it's been like that the whole time. And you didn't tell me? Oh, we've just been working around it. And like, but I could have fixed it. You know, it's like that's such a small. You just like let it stay broken, and everyone's like, yeah, his program sucks, but we work around it. And like, but I could have just fixed it. I didn't know that there was a bug. You know. You know, my release cycle is the project done, then release it, and then I move on to another project, more or less, and then hopefully eventually I get to come back to that project, and then when I come back to it, it's usually because they want to add a new feature. And they're like, can I fix like these 50 things that I want to fix? It's like, no, just add the new feature. They take bugs very seriously. They take bugs very seriously for me too. Oftentimes, you know. But it's hard when you're a one-man team sometimes. Like, I write some serious things, like, you know, the time clock and payroll system. They care about that a little bit. I wrote a program that the police use to, you know, pay attention to where all their calls are and stuff and get information about other things around their calls. Or land records application that people can use to find out information about their property and stuff. GIS application to find out about like just different maps and stuff. Yeah. Healthcare though. What kind of language do you use for healthcare stuff? I've seen some healthcare stuff that's like super old. It's like COBOL and stuff still. I feel like only like high-end government jobs in the healthcare industry are like the only ones that still use COBOL. I mean, there's modern stuff too. I'm just curious. Into migrating all their content to VB6 from VB6 to web.net. Yeah, I do .net web work myself. That's primarily what I do. Almost all of my applications are actually web applications, and most of them have a .net backend. Speaking of .net, .net 5 just came out this week. Auto sneak. Why was that not a thing by default? I'll take it. C# and TypeScript, you know. I'm a lot of C# and JavaScript because my whole team doesn't know TypeScript. I say my whole team. I do have like some helpers on and off. I keep telling myself I'm going to do TypeScript and then I don't do it. I have to at some point, you know. Switch over to TypeScript. I feel like it would help a lot. Your database is a custom non-SQL one, so you use super old programming language based off of mumps for DB code. I don't even heard of mumps. Some of my decisions are like completely based in just like it was decided for me. We use SQL Server at work, and so I use SQL Server. So SQL Server. But yeah. Like the web has taken over everything. When I went to college, I had no intention of being a web developer. And then I got out of college and like all the jobs were like web based. So I did it for a while and then I became good at it. And then that became what I do. And it was not what I really studied, but here I am. I do a little bit of app development now too. We have a iOS and Android app that we put out. Although I'd prefer it if we just made like progressive web apps and just said that's the way you do it on the phone. But yeah, being able to launch applications in the browsers is super convenient, right? You don't have to worry about all the different systems you're installing a program on or anything. You can just be like, does it have Chrome? You're good. Yeah. Although, because I work in government and we have to deal with like having our programs work for the general citizen, like I have to like sometimes make my programs work for like really old browsers and support old versions of Internet Explorer and stuff, and that's always a pain. But what are you gonna do? For the internal stuff, sometimes I can be like, okay, well, they need to use a real browser because I want to do some nice stuff. So. And web development has gotten so complicated over the last 10 years or so. Like I remember when JavaScript was just like a little scripting language that you used for like stuff, or maybe you pulled out jQuery if you're being fancy, right? And now like you have this whole like Webpack compilation cycle, and you're doing HOTS loading and using React and all this other, become much more complicated. Oh yeah? I do a lot of stuff with React. I like React. Oh, I completed a fate. Again, it worked because I didn't actually do anything, but that's kind of fun. Fate complete. I was there too. Not sure how we're mining for water. It's like it's we like break open the rock, water comes out, and we catch it in a bottle or something. The weirdest part about your .NET system is you don't use MVC. Well, you're doing a .NET backend to a website without MVC. You're using model view model. Okay, well that's fine. I mean, with .NET you have to use a controller though, right? I mean, like my MVC sites have view models for their views, but we still have a controller because that's just part of how the .NET MVC thing works, right? ASC view any model is a CS file, and the view behavior CS and view. Oh wow. Okay, yeah. I don't know. That's different. Any property you create on the C# view behavior is just able to read from set to the view behavior JS file. I don't know, I guess my outlook on like, if I'm using .NET, I might as well use like MVC or Razor Pages or something that they actually designed it for. Didn't roll my own, but I guess, I mean, you know, you guys have your system. If it works for you, it works for you. The thing about programming is there's not really always a right answer. There might be a good argument for which way is better, but I mean, if it works, then it's still a correct answer, really. Yeah, it does sound like it would take some getting used to. It almost sounds like someone's has like that sounds like there's someone who had a way of doing things, and then when they got to .NET, found a way to keep doing it their way in .NET instead of learning .NET systems. You know what I mean? Like, this is how I do it, and I will find a way to do it here. You know? That's kind of the way it was with me with some things. Like, I have to support some legacy stuff sometimes, and like, we have some really old websites written in like ASP, and like, I don't know ASP very, like, hardly at all. So whenever I do stuff at ASP, I kind of like like shoehorn in my way of doing things, because I don't feel like fully learning ASP, because it's like not, I'm only going to use it when I'm doing these legacy projects. I'm never going to write something new in it, so I don't really want to spend all my time learning it, I guess. So yeah, so I like do this weird, like, if you were an ASP programmer, you looked at it, you'd be like, what the hell are you doing, right? But it works. And like, that's what that sounds like to me. It's like someone like got to, you know, modern .NET web development and said, I don't want to learn how they do it, I'm just going to do it my way. VB didn't really have a concept of client versus web server. Fair enough. And, you know, when you're working with like groups of programmers, it really means a lot to have like a system and a set of rules that everyone needs to follow so that you all stay on the same page. I don't have that issue because I'm pretty much the only person who ever touches my code. And I wish I had a big group. But it is what it is. We finished the quest. I still got like a level and a half to get though. Thousands of developers? Holy crap. I was gonna say I've never been in that environment. That's not true though. I worked for Microsoft for a while out of college, so certainly had thousands of developers. Although I didn't work on a team of thousands of developers. I worked for a smaller company that Microsoft owned, basically. But it still was a large group of developers, I guess. It wasn't on the order of thousands though. It was always weird though when Microsoft had like a yearly like company meeting, they'd like they'd rent out like the baseball stadium up in Washington and then like broadcast it. They'd like live stream it to the offices that weren't in Washington, and they'd fill the stands with their developers there. It was crazy. You posted an example of your company's DB language in Discord. It's crazy. Like, did they come up with like a custom DB language, or is it just some NoSQL thing that they've taken on? I have to check this out. I haven't done much stuff with NoSQL. of any kind. But let's see. Is valid. What the hell? What's with like the one letter at the beginning? Is that like short for some kind of keyword? Like, feels like they're trying to be obscure. Eyes if, okay. The new variable. And if that, then Q is quit, I guess. S. Yeah, quit return. Okay. Interesting. You have fun with that. I'm glad I don't have to do that one. You can tell a programmer designed it. From the 90s. Like, written by a person who doesn't want you to be able to tell what the code's doing when you read it. You know, it's like, what are these variable names? And like all the keywords are one letter, so you just have to know. And this other one, okay, so we have like if field type. What is the like quote single quote equals? Is that not equals? Is that equals? And then the comma separated, does that mean or? So if the field type is 1 or 2 or 5? Or if the field type's not 1 and not 2 and not 5? Well, you have an no, okay, you have a exclamation mark on the next line for not, I guess, maybe. I'm not sure, actually. Wait a minute. I'm just trying to decipher. Okay, so, okay, that is not equals. And exclamation mark is or. I was just about to ask, that can't be a not because it's like a binary operator there. Comma is short-circuited and? Okay. So if it's not 1 and not 2 and not 5, why would you have a not short-circuited and? And if field type equals 1 or field type equals 2, and that function equals 2, okay. Field type equals 2 and that function is is less than 1. Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's these function names though, like $$Z, capital I, X, capital I, capital D, capital C, little t. Like what kind of a function name is that? Like what the hell does that mean? Like if one of my junior programmers brought a function with that name to me, I would just chew them out in code review. I'd be like, what is this? How am I gonna know what this is a week from now? Like what is this name? In what world is $, little z, big I, little x, big I, big D, big C, little t, a good function name. I don't know what that is, and I'm never gonna know what that is. I'm sorry if that's yours. But it's like, what? That one counts the number of times a value appears among IDs of a certain index. I mean, I don't know how I couldn't tell that from the name. So I get ID count. Is this okay? So I mean, Z IX is index, maybe. ID CT is count, maybe. I'm just guessing. Like that's bad. I'm sorry. Like I don't know a good metric. That's a bad name. Like up the character count a little bit. Give me some more letters. Tell me what the function is. I mean, your function names should not look like they've been encoded. It should be like how are you going to maintain that later? What if you bring on a new programmer? How are they going to learn all that? It's just wasted time. It's old enough that they had character limits on function names when they were created. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Oof. Character limits on function names. That explains a lot. Why were there character limits on function names? How old could it be that that would be the case? The ID helps? Yeah, that's good. Like, looking at that, it screams to me like maybe 80s instead of 90s or something, you know what I mean? Like it's like the function name can't be over like what, 7 characters or so, but then you have field type right there. Field type's like, that's a variable name, right? And it's what, 9 letters? I don't know. Hey, level 29. One more level to go. Oh, my ring is now 0%. My wristlets are dropped to 10%. Man, mining is really hard on your equipment, apparently. Look at that. I forgot to try and get my equipment repaired while I was at town. So you're a much more recent tech grad than me. What's the first language that they teach now in like CS 101? Is it Python now? In like the initial intro to programming course, the one that like the other majors have to take too. I think they switched to Python at some point. Back when I went to tech, it was Scheme, which is like a derivative of Lisp. So lots and lots and lots of parentheses. I feel like Scheme is a language that you like, and Lisp in general is a language that you like really won't appreciate as your intro class. But like after being a programmer for like a decade, you're like, oh yeah, Scheme's a great language. But man, did I hate it when it was my first. It wasn't my first. It was my first one in college. The basic intro course for CS majors that AP Computer Science let you skip is Python. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it used to be Scheme. There was a whole lot of main data structures classes are Java. Really? They use Java for like some of the like not data structures but like architecture like design patterns and stuff. But data structures class was in C or C++ back when I went through it. Like systems and all that stuff. Java's changed a lot since when I was in college though, so I don't even know if I'd recognize Java anymore. I mean, I would recognize it, but like it's had a lot of upgrades. So is C++ for that matter. Although I've actually kept up with C++, not that I get to use it at work, but like it's changed so much since I went to college. CS class all non-CS majors have to teaches MATLAB. What? MATLAB? Really? That's crazy. I bet that's a lot easier for them than Scheme, though. They shouldn't complain. It could be worse. Oh my god. 75%. Missed 3 in a row. Professor tries to teach it as if it's an object-oriented, like MATLAB object-oriented? Are they still big on object-oriented programming when they're teaching you, or are they like straying away from it a little bit nowadays, I wonder? I didn't even know MATLAB could do object-oriented. I didn't learn very much MATLAB. I learned a little bit of MATLAB when I was in college because my my girlfriend at the time was in one of the science majors, and they had to use it a lot for like their modeling and stuff. So I helped her out with the programming. But I had no idea it did object-oriented stuff. The Java courses are pretty... I mean, Java kind of has to be, because Java is... everything's an object, right? Look at this. I missed 4 in a row. This 75% just seems so not true. There's something else affecting it or something. I don't know. I've kind of... I mean, obviously I use objects all the time, but like I've gotten away from like object-oriented programming, I guess. Like I don't use like, I don't know. Obviously, I mean, I use C#, so I use a lot of objects and stuff, but I don't know how to explain that. Also, okay, how about this? At your work, have you ever had to use anything like UML? Do they still teach UML? or the equivalent. I don't know what the equivalent would be nowadays. I had one class that was taught in Java. No, not like a stimming languages. UML is a unified modeling language. It's a way of diagramming out your different classes and how they relate to each other. Like this is this, and this is related to this, and this has one of these, and you have like diamonds and squares and little lines between them, and yeah, arrows and stuff. God, I hated it. They had a class on design and working together in teams or something. It was taught with Java, and it was like so heavy on UML, and I absolutely hated that class. And I have never once used anything like it in actual work. I know some companies do that, and I'm like so glad that I don't have to. I hate it. And it's so useless. Like, the time that I spend coming up with all those diagrams, I could just write the dang code and explain it just as well. And like, that stuff changes, and then all those diagrams become just lies. You know, like, it's like over the course of programming, like you're gonna come up with, you're gonna refactor something or whatever, you're gonna go back and change all those diagrams. Yeah. Group projects, the class. Yeah, they still have it, huh? I don't remember the name of it, but I had that class. That was like my least favorite class the whole time I was at Tech. Also because like, it was without fail, I'd be the one person on the group project going, so are we gonna work on this, guys? And they're like, oh, I have a lot of big projects in this other class. I was like, okay, well, we have this one that we have to do for this class that I'm in. Group projects are always a pain. Was Bob Waters teaching it back then? The name sounds familiar, but I don't know if he was teaching that one. I don't think that he was teaching that one. That name does sound familiar though. I don't remember. I went to Tech from like 2002 to 2007. So it's been a while. Been a long while. Bob Waters. I don't know. I don't know if I know that name actually. Maybe I do. I don't remember most of my teachers' names, honestly. I remember Professor Leahy. I remember like a handful of them, but like a lot of them I don't. I remember I went into this one class in a summer semester, and it was oh god, I don't even remember what class it was. I dropped the class. Yeah, Leahy's great. Leahy is memorable. He was like my favorite teacher. I had him for a couple classes actually, but I'm glad to hear he's still there. I had this other class, so it was during the summer semester, and a grad student was teaching it, and they were using Java for the class. And in one of the first classes, he got to this slide. He clearly hadn't made the slides. I think like a professor had made the slides, and the grad student was just teaching the class in the summer. And it talked about like something was static, and it was in Java, you know, and static's a keyword. It does basically the same thing it does in every language, right? And he did not know what static was, and he started like asking the class, what's static? What does that do? And like, he wasn't asking as like a question to see what we know. Like, he didn't know like what static would do. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be learning from you? I was like, I'm gonna take this class another semester. I'm just not doing this. Like, if you don't know like one of the like, I don't know. I just lost all faith in him as a teacher. Oh, you retired? In what, 2017? Wow, he looks old there. He looked old before, but he looks older now. Is that him? It must be him. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he looks older. He was my favorite teacher in the computer science classes. All right, well. Well, you were lucky to have him. Remember, I think the first class I had him was oh, what is it? It's like a second year class, the systems or whatever, the one where you make like a compiler by the end of it, or you write the interpreter for a compiler, I guess. Yeah. He made that fun. I had him for the class that taught all the different data structures too. I don't remember the names of the classes. Was it like data structures and algorithms or something? I don't remember the names of the classes. Isabel was there. I remember that name for sure. I'm trying to put a face to it. Let me. Yes, yeah, I had him for machine learning. Yeah, he was a good teacher too. I only had him for one class. I took a machine learning class. It was one of my. It was near the end of the time I was at Tech. Actually, it was one of my I don't know what you call it, elective classes or whatever. He's a very good teacher too. Threads. They introduced threads. They didn't have it when I started, but they had it before I ended. So like when I was graduating, I had a choice of like I could use like the old version that I started with, or I could try and like organize my classes into threads to apply for the you know, qualify for the degree or whatever. So they introduced it like as I was leaving, more or less. But no, they didn't have it to start with. At first, when I was reading that, I was like, "Did they have threads?" Like, yes, they had threads. They've had threads forever. And I was like, "Oh, you don't mean programming threads? You mean the curriculum threads?" Back in my day, we only had one CPU. Oh my god. I hit level 30 and I'm still just going, yeah, we talking about programming and Georgia Tech, and I just completely lost track of what I was doing. We've been level 30 for a little bit now. We can head back. Yeah. I was just looking at that. I was like, what level am I? Oh, I'm already 30. Ugh. Don't mind me. Miners. "15 bottles of high-quality effervescent water, quick as you can. And remember, you'd like to find no source better than Buskin Scar." Yep. Got it. Boom. Like twice as many as you needed. Right, in the nick of time. My thanks, Elheim. I'll see to it that these are sent over immediately, but before I do, I should probably expand a bit on what we were talking about earlier. Specifically the part about mixing spirits with effervescent water. See, I wasn't lying when I told you a lot of folk find the combination refreshing. It is refreshing. In fact, adding a bit of bubbly water makes stuff go down so easily, you'll have to be careful not to drink yourself under the table. I say this partly for your own good, and partly because the lad whose task you just took care of wasn't careful. Daft sod threw up right where you're standing. Oh, but didn't end there. And then he slipped in his own puke and split his head open on the bar on his way down, and suffices to say he won't be working for a while. Thankfully, you took up the slack, and all's well with the guild once more. I fear I could do it with a few more like you, Elheim. Keep up the good work, here. Let's see. We can get 23 gathering on our gloves. 11 gathering more. We could get perception on our... Okay, let's get the... We don't have anything on our shoes. Let's get that. Alright. Ilham, just the person I was about to send for you. There's an order I want your help with. It comes from the Gladiators Guild via the vice foreman himself. You recall the time I had you procure obsidian? Well, this time I need you to find wyvern obsidian, which is a good deal rarer. How rare, you ask? Let's just say I handled the stuff no more than a dozen times in my life. So yes, it would be a bugger to find, but don't worry, you won't be working alone. Just so happens that one of your guildmates has volunteered for the task. Considering how difficult it's like to be, you've decided to have the two of you work together. Your partner's name is Wide Gully. He's waiting for you on the far side of the stage. Go on over and introduce yourself and he'll tell you everything you need to know. Run along now. Oh, good luck. Alright, Wide Gully. You must be Elheim, the guildmaster's pet. I've heard as much more about you. They tell me you've got talent. Trouble is you're an adventurer, and anyone with an ounce of sense knows adventurers can't be trusted. Alberta is sorely mistaken if she thinks you're any different. Likewise, she's sorely mistaken if she thinks I'm going to help you find 15 chunks of wyvern obsidian. I'd sooner fall on my own pickaxe than see you take the credit for my hard work. That said, I'm not about to risk getting kicked out of the guild for disobeying a direct order, and luckily there's other ways to handle this. What do you say to a contest? It's not as good as cooperating, as so long as the client gets what he wants. Alberta won't have cause to complain, will she? So here's the deal. We mine for wyvern obsidian separately, and whoever brings back the better haul, that's to say the purer haul, is the winner. Simple, yes? Now we both know I've been doing this a lot longer than you, and I won't have it saying I've trounced a novice. So to make it more interesting, I'll give you as long as you want. For all the good it'll do you. Oh, and you can even go and talk to the client if you like. His name's Roger, and you'll find him outside the Gladiators Guild. Might be as he can tell you something useful. Okay. I have not done the level 50 warrior quest yet. No. Kind of waiting for the stream. Kind of treating all of this like extra, you know? Ooh, there's more. Roger, there's something else over there. Oh, it's probably the gladiator. Yeah, okay. The quest for red mages in Old Markets. Yeah, I picked up the quest for samurai too. Right here. Hey, bless you. I'm Roger. What can I do for you? Got yourself into a contest with Wide Gully, say. Oof, I don't envy you, miss. I don't know much about mining myself, but I do know that Wide Gully is good at his job. He can't be Deep Canyon's son without knowing a thing or two about being a miner. Anyway, I have no idea whose the idea this contest of yours was, but if it means I get goods of better quality, I won't hear any complaints from me. Now, you wanted to ask me about wyvern obsidian, didn't you? And I'll tell you what little I know, but remember, I'm a gladiator, not a miner. Saying that, I haven't graced the blood sands for a while. Took a nasty blow to the knee, you see? Rest assured, the fellow that dealt it got far worse. Anyway, I've all mended and ready to make my return, and I want it to be glorious, something to be sung by the bards. I thought a shiny new sword was in order, and there's nothing like a plumed oak mashlet to draw a crowd. Why? Because it doesn't have a single piece of metal in it. Not a speck of metal, but you wield it right, and the shards of wyvern obsidian embedded in the blade will cut armor like a hot knife through butter. But I'm rambling. You wanted to know where to find the stuff? Not what I plan to do with it. I vaguely recall a conversation I had with a miner a while back. We were talking about that, and I did mention that I want what you call more than one. Well, we were chatting about it, and the fellow said he previously dug up Wyvern City around Thal's Spite in Eastern Thailand. That's what I hope. No, I hope it helps. Right, cool. Boom. We could have just done this. Boom. Thal's Respite. Oh, okay, up here. Go from dry bone. How's it going, bless you? You ready to do a stream in like 35 minutes? What are you streaming? All the Kingdom Hearts games in chronological order. See, that's awesome. Which one are you on? You on the first one still, or? Birth by Sleep, Terrace Path. Nice. Maybe I'll tune in. I'm gonna have to take a break at some point. Get some food in me. Maybe take some more Advil for my splitting headache. You know, the usual. Just started streaming back cover. We started by streaming back cover. Gotcha. So I'm just doing this to fill the time a little bit before I you know, the main stream tonight's when we do all the main story quests and everything. And hopefully lots of dungeons. I feel like we have lots of dungeons queued up at this point. Of course, we have to get through the end of Reborn first. Okay, here's the Wyvern Obsidian. And the 69%. Go ahead and grab a saltpeter first. Okay. We have so many dungeons, right? We're gonna go dungeon happy tonight. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully we get enough people to, you know, fill the party up. Got one for the quest already. These give 2,000 a pop. Not bad. I look forward to the dungeon runs. 17 level 50 dungeons? Dude, you're not kidding. That ought to keep us very busy. Wow, we've already got 3. Ten of them are hard mode versions. Okay. And hard modes are basically brand new dungeons because they're not just harder, they're different, right? So. We'll be swimming in Poetics, which is great because we can, you know, get out our gear with Like, basically, like raid level gear, isn't it? But it's like you buy the best possible gear for the period between expansions. Beautiful. Well, that ought to help when we get to Heavensward then. Well, leveling a miner is pretty simple. You just, you know, grind on different things. That's pretty much all you do. This is all it takes to be a miner right here. I forgot to repair my gear. All right, 8 out of 15 already. Kind of funny that miners are better at stealth than like ninjas. I can sneak right by all these monsters. Ninjas can sneak, but they get reduced move speed. Like, clearly, they just need to learn how to carry a pickaxe. All it takes. Very little training, you suddenly become very good at stealth. Ninjas can learn a thing or two. Like, take this, ninja. Oh, you can't see me at all, ever. That's silly. Even more mounted. Three more and we'll be done with the quest. Quite a bit more to actually level up, though. Some basic pointers for Samurai or Red Mage. You can do that during the afternoon stream. Okay. Sure. I can go unlock Samurai or Red Mage. Good. I'm gonna turn in this quest. What's the matter? Don't tell me you're having trouble finding a paltry 15 chunks of wyvern obsidian. How about 15 awesome chunks? Oh, managed to scrape together the required amount, did you? But, well, then let's see your sorry sustenance for the sake of Bugger me. They're black as night. This is some of the purest stuff I've ever seen. How the seven hells did you find these? You're a mere adventurer. I'm loath to admit it, but your obsidian's superior to mine. Well, it might be as you bested me on quality, but there's more to being a miner than that. You need to be able to give the client what he wants. When he wants it. In other words, you need speed. Without it, quality counts for naught. I was by far the faster man, so we'll call it a draw. But mark my words, I'll best you next time, both on speed and quality. I'll see to it that the obsidian gets to Hodger. In the meantime, why don't you go and tell the guildmaster about it? I don't care what you say. Elheim, how'd you find working with Wide Gully? What? He challenged you to a contest? As if the tasks weren't difficult enough. I'm terribly sorry, Elheim. It's hardly fair of him. He's a born miner. What's that? You beat him? Truly. He's one of the guild's very best. Well done, girl. He claimed he was faster, did he? Well, speed is important, but Wide Gully sets the rules, and by those rules, you won fair and square. Well, you've come a long way, Elheim. A long way. You make me proud to be your mentor. At the same time, though, I must admit that the miner in me can't help feeling some envy. But it's that which keeps me, a veteran like me, on my toes, lights a fire in my belly. Wouldn't have it any other way. Keep what you're doing, Elheim, and I'll do my damnedest to keep up. Okay. Alright. I repaired this gear real quick. Oh, just start straight at 50 then. That's better. I have to switch job. Outside the Gladiators Guild. Come one, come all, and marvel at a mystery of the Far East, a swordsman hailing from the exotic Hingashi, whose blade work is quicker than the eye can see. Don't let his age fool you. Old though he may be, he already made short work of one of Uldah's meanest gladiators, and now seeks a new challenger. You can best him, you'll be rewarded with a rare Hingan treasure. There's just one condition. You must fight with the same blade as the old man's. Think you have what it takes? Proceed to the Gladiators Guild to make yourself known to the Far Eastern Elder. This aura, unusual yet undoubtedly formidable. Dare I hope a worthy challenger has come. Well met, friend. I am Musosai, a samurai of Hingashi. Lest you wonder, samurai are swordsmen of the Far East, yet know that the swords we wield are unlike those of this land. Katana, they are called. And for our duel, I shall lend you such a blade, along with a stone, a talisman of sorts. Wear them on your person, you shall become one of us, at least in appearance, if not in sooth. Boom. Instantly samurai. Okay. I like that I'm wearing the frickin' crafting gear headset. That's the best thing you can come up with. Sin engaged unlocked. Displays which of the 3 sin effects, Setsu, Getsu, Ka, currently accumulated. Sin is required to perform Ijutsu. Number of sin accumulated determine which weapon skill is executed. 1 for Hikabana, 2 for Tenkin Goken, and 3 for Midare Setsugeka. I have played a samurai for a bit before. Make sure to open the armor coffer. Right. That would help. Whoa! Gear just got a lot better. This is better than my warrior gear. Level 115 stuff. Musosai regards you with a piercing gaze. Ah yes, in your gaze I see the stirrings of a newborn samurai. As plain as the stone has already been bequeathed some of its memories upon you. Yet having the memories is one thing, mastering them is quite another. We shall begin now to see how well you fare against me. Prepare yourself, young samurai. We begin as soon as you're ready. Oh jeez. Alright, so we have an attack. We have a combo from that attack that increases damage dealt. Reduce the amount of damage taken. Wash and Jinpu. There's our third one. Grants Getsu. The ranged attack. There's a second option for a second one. Action direction requirements. Trying to order these abilities right now. This is an AoE attack. This uses our ability. Combo with Fuga. Oh, this one, okay. I Combo with Shifu. This one grants, yeah, grants Ka. This combos with Fuga. It grants Ka. And this grants Getsu. Okay, so we got 2 different AoE ones. Setsu. This is Jinpu. This grants Ka. This grants Ka. Grants Ka. This grants Getsu. This is the only one I've seen that grants Setsu. Combo action with Hakaze. Execute up to 3 open sword combos without meeting the combo prerequisites. Okay. You ready? Good, good. Let's take it to the arena. Sure, we can try this. Gather you around and bear witness, for another brave challenger has appeared. Next to face Mususai, Swordmaster of the Far East, we have an itinerant adventurer. I see you later, bless you. Good luck with your stream, man. Switch your 2-3 bind with a 5-6 since you want to execute that one first. What's up, bud? Okay, thanks. Hold it right there. No one gets to take down that old bastard except me. Harold, the last standing, Scourge of the Sands. You made a fool of me earlier, but this time there'll be no tricks. This time I fight with my own sword, not a pathetic excuse for a needle you handed me. What's this? Boneheaded Barrowald, who was so roundly trounced but moments ago has invaded the Blood Sands. For those who came in late, he's the disgraced gladiator who was cast out of the Colosseum for, and I paraphrase, being an all-around odious brute. The rules were plain and you agreed to them. There were no tricks. Shut your mouth and fight me again. Such eagerness for blood. The warriors of this land are as naked blades. I'll get you next time. And with that distraction out of the way, maybe we continue where we left off. Okay. And my 5-6 I want to do first. No. That's fine. These different moves are. Okay. One is a dot, 2 is AoE, and 3 is single target. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, dot's gonna fall off. Let's put the dot on again. Victory is yours, young one. Cool. And the challenger wins! I did play with Samurai for a while before I basically, last time I played, I got up to 50 as a ninja, switched to Samurai until I unlocked Machinist, and then I was a Machinist. So I played Samurai from level 50 through all of the post ARR stuff and into the beginning of Heaven's Ward until I unlocked Machinist. So I have played Samurai before. To draw forth such strength from the stone in such a short time, you are no ordinary woman. As promised, I shall bestow upon you the rarest of Hingen treasures, training in the way of the samurai. That makes sense, Minus. What's the matter? Our techniques are not found in this land, hence their great worth. As my pupil, you would train under my watchful eye and learn even the most puissant of my techniques. Why, you lying bastard. All that fighting, there wasn't even any coin in it? What's this? Boneheaded bear rolled his back, and this time he's brought friends? This man doesn't know when to give up. Got a problem? Come down here and say it. At no point was it said that the treasure is an object, let alone coin. Besides, winning it was well beyond you. Shut the hells up. This time I'll show you my true strength. Your strength lies in numbers, 'twould seem. Very well, if you insist on another trouncing, then so be it. But know that this time 'tis not I who shall deal it, but my pupil. Having seen your potential firsthand, he and his ilk ought not pose you any trouble. Whoever she is, take care of her too. All right. What was that charge up? Like, I'm gonna hit this whole area over here in a minute. Sod this, I'm gonna make you hurt, old man, if it's the last thing I do. He's gonna charge at him. This isn't gonna end well. Not even doing anything. I can't target him anymore, so I guess we just watch. You're done? Then allow me. Not even worth drawing my blade. Well fought, young one. I've seen all I need. The winner is the challenger! What fearsome fighters, these samurai. Let's give her a rousing applause. Nice. Alright, so we've unlocked samurai. Where do we go to unlock Red Mage? Forgive me. I know it was wrong to force that fight upon you, and yet I find I do not regret having done so, for it is reaffirmed beyond any doubt the promise I had glimpsed in you. Long did I search my native land for a pupil, but I found none fit to be a vessel for my knowledge, and the problem I concluded lay in the people's way of thinking, the zeal with which they uphold tradition to the detriment of all else. So it was that I set forth for a new land, this heir's ear. I placed myself in the midst of your most able swordsmen, offering myself as a spectacle in the hopes of finding a worthy soul, and then find her I did in you. Now I realize how all this may appear. You I could be but a strange old fool spouting nonsense, but I'm well past caring about appearances. I must speak with all earnesty when I say that there is none other to whom I would pour my knowledge, so I ask you, will you consent to being my pupil? Words cannot express my joy. From this moment on, we are master and student. Now then, I would know your name. By what are you called? Elheim. 'Tis a fine name. Without further ado, Elheim, we shall commence your training. Pray join me at the nearest tavern, the Slickland. Wings. I should really do Gladiator at some point so I can unlock Paladin. I shall begin at the very beginning. In the distant past, Tingassi underwent a period of strife during which numerous opposing factions vied for supremacy, the Age of Blood. In this age, many took to battle with katana in hand, and in the crucible of war, our art was forged, the way of the samurai. Eventually the realm was unified under one banner, peace reigned once more, and the people set aside their katanas, save for we samurai who continue to wield it as a symbol of authority. And with that authority comes a grave responsibility of protecting the peace. To ensure the Age of Blood is never repeated, we samurai seek out the wicked and bring them to account. In so doing, we ward off chaos and preserve order in our realm, such as our calling. Tingassi or Heir's Ear, it matters not where we are. This calling guides us always. To that end, we shall journey to the land, you and I, on a quest to right wrongs. As one who has grasped the foundation of our art, it is your surest path to mastery. Our efforts begin in this very city. I shall cast about for evil that has taken root here, and then we proceed to excise it. Well now, that certainly got exciting quick, but with some even quicker thinking, I managed to set up a wager and turn a tidy profit. Momozigo, I owe you a great debt of gratitude. Thanks to you, I have found my pupil at long last. I pray that you will live comfortably with your winnings. Actually, I don't mind to join you. Wherever you go, I sense that coin will follow, and besides, it seems you planning on rooting out evil in our fair city? If so, you do well to have me along. With my connections, I can procure the information you're like to need. Then there's the small matter of your complete and utter lack of knowledge of Eorzea. There is that indeed. Had fate not seen fit to unite us, I would never have found my way here from Fester Bay. I would be standing here breathing. If anyone owes anything, it's me. You saved me from those cutthroat bandits when I tried to recruit them from the Colosseum. Terribly reckless in hindsight. As for you, my friend, to be marked out by old Musasai himself, you must be made of uncommon stuff indeed. Not to put the pressure on, but I have the highest of hopes for you. And here we are then. I have shown to take my search with Momozigo's help, and until such time as there are developments, pray continue honing your newfound skills. Cool. Awesome. Oh, are you an adventurer? Please, you have to rescue my sister. Some horrible people tried to kidnap us just outside the city gates. They managed to break free when a traveler stopped to help, but my sister never caught up to me. I will save her. You will? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Please hurry through the gate here and just keep going straight ahead. You're sure to find them. The traveler was some sort of mage, but I think it was 1 against 5. Surely couldn't stand against so many. Somehow I feel like he'll be fine. Yep. Don't touch my... Oh, you're not one of them. And who might you be? You came to lend your aid. My apologies. Had I but known, I would have spared a villain or two. After all, you seem to share my distaste for those who would prey upon defenseless children. Aye, birds of a feather are we. I am Zarun Tia, pilgrim of sorts. Might I know your name, friend? Elheim. Why does that say such a familiar chord? Excuse me, I wanted to thank you for saving me. My pleasure, child. You are unharmed, yes? Good. Let us escort this brave lass to her sister, then. Lead the way. You found her, adventurer. Thank you. We are very grateful for your kindness. I was so scared. What do those terrible people want with us? You needn't worry about them anymore, sister. The man in red defeated them all. You saw how he fought with spells and steel? He's one of those heroes Papa told us about. A crimson duelist, aren't you? I did not expect to hear that name that's so far south into Eorzea. You are a crimson duelist. I knew it. Is your Papa telling his daughters tales of red mages? You must be from Alamigo, yes? Well, that would explain his choice of bedtime stories. Now, shall we see you last us home? We'll be all right from here. Thank you again. And away they skip, safe and happy. Now, Elheim, was it not? I believe we've earned ourselves a celebratory drink. You need not feel compelled, my friend. Should the mood strike you, however, you'll find me staying over at the Blackbush station. Find the ale served at the coffer and coffin most agreeable. Cool. So he wants to meet us there. I am gonna stop here for now. We got our game tonight in like 5 hours, right? So I'm gonna try and rest up. I can already feel my headache coming back on from my lack of caffeine, so I'm gonna try and take some more medicine and lay down and make sure that I'm good to go for tonight. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tonight. Bye. See you later, Minus.